Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly love outlook for the sign of Virgo. All right, this is going to be for March 1st to the 8th, and this is going to be for a Virgo and another person. So whoever they feel connected to, their other person. I like to usually use that term because we never really know if the love connection is in a great connection. You might be ready to leave this person. You may be ready to, who knows, whatever the situation is. It may be conflict, so we're only going to see once the cards come out. But this is indeed a reading for Virgo and their other person and their connection, because we're going to be pulling out cards for both of you. All right, guys, so let's get right into it. I've already been shuffling the cards quite some time before I started filming, so we can start right away. We're going to pull out their cards, how they see themselves, you see yourselves, how you see each other, and so forth. Now, your person. Wow, Nine of Wands. This is the third reading that the Nine of Wands has come out for the other person. That's how they're resonating. You're resonating with a Knight of Wands. They see you as a King of Cups, and you're seeing them as a King of Pentacles. Wow. They see the relationship, or their part in the relationship, as a Ten of Pentacles, and you are seeing the relationship or your part in it as a Eight of Swords. Whew. All right, so Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm always wary when the Eight of Swords comes out because it is a very toxic energy. The Eight of Swords. It is my gaslighter card, right? But we'll get to it. We'll get to see why you're feeling this way. Of course, Six of Swords, Virgo, is all about a desire to move towards harmony, right? To move towards a more harmonious environment, to take you and your family to someplace where you can live, or to take yourself someplace where you can live in peace with like-minded individuals. So Six of Swords is generally a desire to move, to move your environment or move your state of mind or the people you socialize with. It's a Swords card, so we're talking about mental and communication. The level of communication you have with people to a level that is harmonious and that is like yours, right? So you're seeking like-minded mentality, right? People that you get along with, right? And that is a harmonious connection, right? And this is what you're seeking in your life. So this is the underlying energy here for the week. Let's get right into your cards, Virgo. Your person is resonating with Nine of Wands, and you're resonating with Knight of Wands. So they're dealing with some healing right now. They're beginning to sort of really take notice of some of the baggage that they've been carrying around with them. And I think they're starting to realize that some of their behaviors or ideas recently, or just maybe for quite some time, have really been left over from past crutches or hang-ups, right, that they've had. And it's starting to realize that it's just not serving them anymore. Nine of Wands is that realization that, you know what, I really need to push through and let go of all of this, right? I need to really summon my strength and choose to lay down some of the stuff that I've been holding on to. And ultimately, we rise up to a Ten of Wands where that oppression is so heavy, you do lay it down. But Nine of Wands is just kind of that dawning, that realization, that awakening that we have on the inside about things that we've held on to that just aren't serving us anymore and that are just kind of alienating us. You're resonating with a Knight of Wands, and your desire is, right now, you're feeling really enthusiastic and passionate about the next steps, right? You're feeling good about things. And I think to a certain degree, you're also feeling very positive about your person recognizing these things within themselves, right? This is generally a nice reading, although it's interesting that we have this Eight of Swords. But your person is waking up. They're having an awakening, and you are also kind of feeling very sort of supportive about it. The Knight of Wands is very supportive and passionate, right? So it's the air aspect of fire. So here the Knight of Wands is all about sort of verbalizing his support, verbalizing his passion, verbalizing his enthusiasm, right? It's the connection of communication with fire, air and fire. And so You know, the Knight of Wands is very sort of motivational in a lot of ways. His energy or her energy can be motivational. And so this is how you're feeling right now. You're feeling very positive. Now, how you see each other is interesting. You both see each other as alphas. Your person sees you as the King of Cups and you see them as the King of Pentacles. So you both see each other as alpha personalities. This isn't necessarily gender specific, right? These could be two women, two men, or heterosexual couple, either or, but you both are very, you know, you're in charge of your prospective sides of the relationship. One person is the King of Cups, so they really rule the home and the roost and the love connection in terms of, you know, the rules of the house, right? And the other person is the King of Pentacles, who's really taking care of the business, right? And so your person sees you as the one who really takes care of the heart of the family or the heart of the relationship, right? You're the King of Cups. You're the one maintaining, you know, a lot of the emotional stability in the relationship. And you see them as King of Pentacles. And so they're like very much, you know, maintaining the emotional, the financial stability, right? They're maintaining the financial stability of the relationship. They may be very, very successful, right? So it's quite interesting that you would resonate with those two cards like that, because you both are very sort of mutually respective of each other. You definitely are very compatible. You know, the King of Cups and King of Pentacles is a very compatible energy. You know, water and earth, very, very compatible. And so it's interesting that you guys see each other, because this is a nice sort of well-balanced relationship, even though your person is opening up about some issues about themselves. And it's interesting that you see them as the King of, excuse me, I was just thinking something else was coming into me. You see them as the King of Pentacles, right? So you see them as the one who's very much in charge of the finances and all of that. But interestingly enough, they're having a real awakening about themselves, right? About certain aspects of themselves. So they could be someone who's generally been very, very sort of one-tracked about sort of material things in life, and now having this kind of like psychic, almost spiritual awakening about themselves and about aspects of themselves that they'd like to change. Now, how do you guys see the relationship? They see the relationship as a 10 of Pentacles. So they see it as having everything that they want. They have the wealth there. You see them as King of Pentacles. So they're bringing in the money and the wealth. So they feel extremely, extremely blessed, right? Interestingly, though, you see the relationship as a 8 of Swords. So there is a conflict here about something. There is a feeling here that you have about something being too restrictive. You feel as though perhaps this could very well be that you feel although you're very happy, right? Here we get back to the Knight of Wands, because you are feeling like you really want to sort of move forward with your passions. Now, this could be in support of your person, but now when I see this 8 of Swords in the context of it in the relationship, it could be that you have a real desire to exert some independence here. Right? It could be that your person is resonating with that King of Pentacles. They are very much the financial, like they hold the purse strings. Are you feeling a little bit caged in by that? You know, you may be feeling a little bit sort of caged by their financial control. They may be resonating with a little bit too much control, right? It's interesting because 8 of Swords is a feeling of not being able to make any decisions on your own, not being able to move, being alienated, being tied down. And usually this is a case of our own sort of restrictive thinking that causes this for us. But here, it's interesting that you could resonate with something like this and yet be so fiery and so free here with the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is absolutely not this kind of toxic energy. So it makes me feel like in this particular situation, you're resonating the relationship with this feeling. The relationship is giving you a feeling of toxicity or of being restricted in a very toxic way. Right? And it's interesting. You guys have very mutual love and respect for each other. Let's pull some clarifiers on this. Excuse me. Now, your person is resonating with Nine of Wands, which is like they may be starting to realize some of these attitudes that they're having are perhaps making you feel this way, right? Because certainly, you know, they think everything is all right from their end with the money coming in and everything is good. But if you're feeling caged, if you're feeling like you can't really do what you want to do, you can't really be who you want to be, and you have this strong desire here with the Knight of Wands to really sort of follow your own passions, I'm going to say, you know, are you having this conversation with them? Are you talking to them about it? Because I don't necessarily feel that there is any kind of abuse here, or like that they're, you know, like they're really keeping you captive. It's just you feel this way about it, right? And Eight of Swords is, to a certain degree, a lot of it is, you know, this energy can be people who sort of blame their inability to make decisions on others. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but it could be that you're assuming you can't make the decisions you want to make because you haven't had the right conversations. You know what I'm saying? And you're putting yourself in a position of victim because maybe you haven't faced up to what you need to talk to your person about. You know what I mean? Or let them know that you are feeling caged, or that you're feeling alienated from the rest of the world, right? Certainly finances are having something to do with it here. Let's pull out these clarity cards. This is an interesting twist to an otherwise really good relationship, it seems like. You guys are certainly matched, but it could very well be that they've put you on that pedestal. Let's see what your energy is. For their energy, wow, 5 of Pentacles and the Chariot, and your energy is 7 of Cups and the World. Okay, so, wow. Well, certainly 5 of Pentacles and a Chariot. This is quite interesting. It almost feels like, so here, 5 of Pentacles is generally somebody who has gone, you know, has really picked themselves up from nothing. They've really been experiencing an ousting, you know, being kicked out of a union because of a split, a divide, a power divide, and then having nothing, right? Could this be, I don't know, is this some of the energy that you may be feeling here with this individual, that they're resonating with this 5 of Pentacles? Usually this 5 of Pentacles comes in and you are the sort of victim of this energy, right? I don't see them feeling like they're having any trouble financially. You see them as the King of Pentacles, and they see their partner relationship as bringing financial stability. So I wonder if 5 of Pentacles is what you fear, or is it something that they've kind of said to you, right? Like if you know, maybe you fear that if you speak up or you tell them that you want to be more independent, that this is what's going to happen. You're going to have this you're going to have this, you know, power struggle where they're going to just either cut the money off, right? Or you're going to have a divide. You're going to be left sort of financially maybe, you know, worse off or having a hardship. So it's interesting that this energy will come in like this for you and on their side, right? And the Chariot is there also. And so there's a desire to move forward, certainly. There's certainly a desire to move forward and to have like a next stage come in, right? It could be that your person may be wanting to take it to the next stage. They may be saying to you, you know, look, you know, are you guys married? Are they maybe trying to get, you know, say, look, let's take it to the next stage of commitment? And it's like, because now suddenly I'm getting that message that if, you know, you're feeling a little bit pressured about something here in this relationship, and it could very well be that your person is saying, look, either you get married or we split up. And it's like, that would be an example of something that I'm talking about. I'm not saying that that is the only thing that's going on here, but that could be an example where that's why you're feeling very, very, you know, like constricted here, unable to make the right decision. You're kind of blaming them to a certain degree, but it's all about really biting the bullet. If, for instance, you were in a relationship where everything is going quite well and you have a lot of financial stability, but they want to lock it down more, and you want more freedom, and now you're like, hang on a second, if I don't go with this decision, then I might be out all of this financial stability that I've had, right? And I may lose them as well to a certain degree, right? This is an interesting read that's really taken quite a twist. They certainly are wanting to move forward with you. They have the Chariot here, and I feel like this may certainly be what it is. Some of you may indeed be just not ready to get married because they see you as a King of Cups. The King of Cups generally makes that commitment, but you may indeed not be feeling like that and really be wanting to have much more freedom. You're resonating with Seven of Cups in the world. So Seven of Cups is delusional, sort of unrealistic ideas about relationships, right? And so it can be that you're realizing that maybe you're starting to wake up to the fact that this relationship is not what it cracked up to be, or maybe that you had the wrong idea of how things would be. Like you may have over-idealized, perhaps in the beginning when you got together, like you guys were perfect match in the sense that you have a lot of fun and all that, but the money was there. Right? This person really provided certainly a lot of financial stability, and that is always intoxicating. It's always nice. It always makes a relationship a lot easier when you don't have to worry about money. But it can also lead to unrealistic expectations. And now it almost seems as though that this is all coming tumbling down in a way because you're realizing now that, now that they may, and so again, if I go back to that example, that they may be wanting to take this to the next level or break up. Sometimes I've heard of that when people say, look, either you marry me or it's over, right? And it's like, this is not turning out the way I expected it to. And Seven of Cups is definitely about that. Having absolutely unrealistic expectations. Look, the siren's coming in like the perfect time. Just realizing that a relationship is not exactly going to go the way you had dreamed it would go. You may have thought it was like this fairy tale relationship or really over-idealized it because, again, like I say, in the beginning it was really nice. But now that it's crunch time and it's like, it's suddenly turning into something that I think you never really expected. And certainly that you're not actually quite happy in if you're seeing yourself with an Eight of Swords. The world comes in, and this is a real feeling of you having to sort of say, look, what am I going to do? This is a real sort of, I want to say, crossroads moment for you to decide, right? Because your decision, I do think there is some kind of pressure or something they must be putting on you, because certainly with this Chariot, they want to move forward with you. And it could be that you are indeed, because thinking more about your destiny, your fate. The World card talks about destiny, having its eye on you. And I think right now you're feeling like you are really in the throes of like that time in these times we have in our lives where our decisions are really going to determine the next several years of our lives, right? And so you're feeling very like connected to that energy, I want to say, trying to sort of really figure out what your next step should be. Certainly at the end of the day, you're going to have to choose for yourself because Eight of Swords is still a little bit toxic in a sense that you may be blaming others for your inability to make a move or to have your freedom or to make a decision. But at the end of the day, the choice is always yours. It's just that sometimes the choice comes with consequences, right? And so you have to be willing to take the consequences of your choices, of your actions, but you still always have a choice. So you really have to see how you're going to feel. But certainly when you have a Six of Swords and a Seven of Cups, which is definitely disappointment and an over-idealized relationship that really starts to kind of, you realize that it is all not what it was cracked up to be. And this feeling, there is definitely an unhappiness here, Virgo. I'm going to pull out, let me pull out two Romance Angel cards real quick to see what they have to say about it. It's interesting that, I knew that this was going to take an interesting turn because with that Eight of Swords, it's just like, you see each other as equals, but there's definitely something going on here. And it's funny that they're looking back on a Nine of Wands because they're resonating with Nine of Wands here. I think that part of the reason why they may be sort of wanting to move forward with you and make that commitment, Ten of Pentacles is commitment as well. Is because they're looking back at their lives and saying, well, it's time for me now. They're ready, and it's like that there again, it can also be that not only are they looking back on some of the things they want to let go, but they're also realizing that they're ready to sort of move forward. They want to have, you know, this next level of commitment. I do feel strongly for some of you, this is going to be somebody asking you to marry them, and you're just absolutely not ready, Virgo. Let go of control issues. Wow. And worth waiting for. Wow. So there you go. You have two messages: let go of control issues and worth waiting for. So there, you know, I mean, Eight of Swords is a feeling of control issues, or feeling like you don't have control, feeling like you want to control somebody else's actions because you feel like they're controlling you. All of that is associated with letting go of control issues, allowing a situation to unfold naturally to a certain degree. Yes, there is that also. Right. You may be feeling like doing that, right? You may be feeling like, maybe I'm not going to try to control this. Maybe I'm just going to say, look, I'll make my decision when I can, or I need time, right? Rather than trying to out manipulate or being frozen about what to do next. Worth waiting for. Again, divine timing is at work in your love life right now. This is what I was saying about the World card. There is a feeling of destiny at work right now. And it could be that, you just take, I don't know, you just have to decide for yourself, how do you feel about this connection? Because there could be aspects of this connection that I'm saying that isn't exactly the way it is for you, right? It may not be as sort of severe as it's being painted here. Of course, the questions in your relationship may not even be about marriage, but there's certainly a desire from your person to want to move forward with you. They see that. Ten of Pentacles, Chariot. They see that for you. They see you at the King of Cups. They see you as the marriage one, right? The one they want to be with. King of Cups is definitely committed. But certainly with you resonating with these energies here and issues of control and your desire to be very independent with that Knight of Wands, this is something you're going to have to definitely talk to them about if you want this connection to move forward without having these control issues, so that you can let go, so that you guys can come to a meeting at the middle. So I'm not saying this is all doom and gloom, but there definitely has to be a discussion here about the control issues, because certainly you're feeling that way. You're feeling like you want more independence while they're feeling like they want to lock you down more. All right, Virgo, I am going to leave it at that. This is your reading for March 1st to the 8th. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going through this. This is a very specific reading that's quite an interesting sort of path, right? It's very specific for a certain Virgo out there. So, of course, it's not going to resonate with everyone. But if it resonated with you, please do let me know and let the collective know and share your story. But for right now, Virgo, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you next week. Bye-bye.